my great privilege to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Rajendran Dhandapani, whose presence makes us the entire program glorious. He is the man who motivates the younger generation, trains them to develop their personality by his unbeatable skills. With a pinch of taste from IIT Madras as an engineer in electronics and electrical communication, Sir was the part of founding team at Zoho Corporation, then called Waymo Systems. Later, he has spent 7 years at Zerago, Asia's largest new age marketing entity, as their chief algorithm officer, managing projects and services for clients, including Citibank and Sifi. After rejoining Zoho Corporation in 2004, he has been serving a triple role at the company. He spearheads mobile development at Zoho, with a multi-talented team that builds mobile apps for 45 million plus customers. Really, it's a great privilege, sir, to have you. As well as he is the president at Zoho Schools of Learning. Zoho owns ongoing social experiments seen by many as a viable alternative to conventional college education. He is also one of the TEDx speaker and a technology evangelist who tries to share hard-earned advice and best practices from its dozens of years of professional experience. To be very precise, beyond the work, he is a contra academician at heart, feeling strongly that education system in India needs a reboot, which we all agree right now, right? He also walked the talk, doing his own small bit by free schooling his 18-year-old son at home. Really, it's a very great inspiration to all the parents, right? And then his son has graduated out of Zoho Schools of Learning and is now his colleague at Zoho Corporation. And now it is a great honor to welcome our chief guest here. So since we are not physically present, we are welcoming sir through this virtual bouquet. Sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, right, sir. And it's a great privilege for us since you are present here. And the podium is over to you, sir. And to be one more thing I'd like to add here, dear students, you will be really overwhelmed when you hear the awaited address of our chief guest on the topic Learn to Bunk. Now I request sir to take over the session. Please, sir.
Spotlight for everyone. Okay. I'm assuming you're able to see my slides and you're able to see me and hear me also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So Learn to Bunk is not the title. Learn to Bunco is the title. I just wanted to make it interesting and unusual, so we use the word bunk. Why are we talking about Bunco? This whole talk today is going to be based on this book. This is an amazing book I picked up a couple of years ago. It is called The Adventures of Johnny Bunco. It's the last career guide you will ever need. You're all just getting started in college. You have a long way to go. There are going to be amazing adventures. COVID itself, online classes itself is an amazing adventure. What more are you going to be faced with? And how are you going to work through them? That's the challenge. But here, if you follow the advice in this book, you don't need to buy any other book, says Daniel Pink. Daniel Pink up there is the author of this book. This book is not some thick book with a lot of words and difficult stuff, or not easy to understand and all that. It is a comic book. It's actually drawn in the Japanese style, the manga art style. I am going to base everything I'm going to talk today on this book. In fact, what you see now is from the book. We're going to talk 6 lessons. One by one, we will be opening the boxes that you see. Let's go. It's about a boy called Johnny Bunco. He's a lot like you and me. Unnai pol oruvan, ennai pol oruvan. A lot like you and me. He's a good person, kind to animals, helps old ladies cross the street and all that. Cute boy or girl. All good grades in school, listens to parents. I'm sure you all listen to parents too.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. It looks like a router issue, so try restarting it. Unplug the router, wait 10 seconds, then plug it back in.
He listens to parents, studies fairly well at school. He get pretty good grades. And he is about to start off on his career. Look at that line. He did what everyone said he was supposed to do. Grandma, uncle, auntie, mom, dad. He's about to start off at university. But the thing is, he is starting to suspect that everyone is wrong. Something is wrong. I have been following all the advice I've got till now, but something is not working out right. What could be going wrong? What is the mistake I made? He is starting to wonder. A lot like you and me, a man on the street. He's starting work. He is a software engineer or a business clerk in a large office. He's got a lot of work to do. He's got a lot more work to do. It lands on his table, and that's his boss behind him. The other two friends, they're about to leave for lunch. He's not able to join them because he has got so much work to do. I'm going to be here all night. Not just in the daytime, he has to work in the night too to finish the work. He's tired. Late in the night, he wants to take a break. He steps out for a midnight break. That's the name of his company. Boggs Corp is the name of his company. And outside, he sees a noodle shop, Ukai, sushi and noodles. And he wants to go have a bite. He picks it up, forgets to take the chopsticks. Are you going to eat with your fingers? Asks the server there. And then he picks up the chopsticks. I can't believe I have to recheck the numbers in every single one of these statements. Every one of these spreadsheet statements I have to recheck. What kind of job is this? He wonders. He's tired. He's heartbroken. He looks at his food waiting. He takes the chopsticks. What am I doing here? I'm bored, he says. And at that time, he feels uninspired. He feels like he's wasting his life. He thinks there has to be a better way, and he opens the chopsticks. You split them up before starting to eat. They'll be stuck by gum. You split them up before you start to eat. And when he opens the chopsticks, there's a lot of sparks, and there is some smoke, and there is some magical stuff happening all around. And he's shocked. He doesn't know what to do. And in front of him appears an angel, a goddess, a genie. Okay, you bothered me. How can I help you? Asks the angel. First of all, he doesn't know whether to believe or whether this is some drug that is making him hallucinate like this. That's the boss. And he comes the next morning and asks, did you find any mistakes? Yeah, there were a bunch of errors here and there. Everything was in the wrong columns. I fixed them all up, he says. And then he tells to his friends, you know what? Last night I was working, and when I opened the chopsticks, a genie came in front of me. An angel, a guardian angel came in front of me and said, you are in a dead-end job, and I can help you figure out how to get out of this job. The friends are thinking this guy has gone mad. What angel? What chopsticks? She appears only to you, huh? Asks one girl. You don't believe me? Come, I'll show you Ukai. That's where I got it. So they go to Ukai. Never been there, the two friends say. And then they realize that what this man called Ukai doesn't even exist. It is Starbucks. It's a coffee shop. At night, just to him, it seems to have magically appeared. I'll show you, says the guy. Our man, our hero, Bunco, takes the chopsticks and goes into a private room and opens it up. There comes the genie again. See, I told you. And he asks the question to the genie, should I stick with the plan? The plan? What plan? Asks the genie. Oh, you see, when I started college, my dad gave me some advice. I wanted to become a musician. I wanted to become a cricketer. I wanted to play in the IPL. But he gave me some advice. I wanted to get into art history and drawing. I wanted to get into advertising. And my dad said, you just can't approach it randomly, can't approach it willy-nilly. You need to have a plan. If you want to get ahead, you have to have a plan, he said. First do accounting, then you will always have a job. Today, what do our parents do? They say, first get engineering degree or first finish medical. The story is the same. The actual answers are probably different, but the way the story goes is always the same. First do a proper degree, and then you can always have a job. And on top of that, you can build it. Get a good background. Keep your options open. They say, okay, says the boy, and starts to work. Everybody's already tired because that's the story they have all been going through too. And then my mom said the same thing, says another girl. So you ended up majoring in accounting. Did you like it? No, I didn't like what I did at college. But it was part of the plan. So I was about to graduate. I started looking for a job and I went to a job fair. And the job interviewer asked me, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Come on, these are COVID times. Can you even see where you will be next year? How can you possibly be able to see what you will be doing 10 years from now? I want to work in a video game company, a branding firm, or a cool museum, something creative, says our hero. And the interviewer laughs, wonders, crackpot this guy is. You need a plan, my boy. Get a job at a good company, a management trainee job perhaps. Learn the ropes, learn how things work. Stick it out as long as you can. Even if it is hard, even if it is difficult, stick it out. Because the goal you reach, that's going to be amazing. Use the experience to go to another company closer to your interests. Then after 3 more years, you may be able to get even closer, and that might be the solution you're looking for. Really? Says our hero. Okay, I'll go to Boggs and get a job there. I'll talk to them. Keep your options open, says our man. So this man continues interviewing and gets a job as an accounting person. Where do you find yourself in 5 years? What's your biggest weakness? All are boring, silly questions interviewers keep asking us over and over again. What's your biggest weakness in 10 years? You're hired. And that's how he got his job. The rest, as they say, is history. So what's the problem? The problem is he hates this job and he is not sure it'll lead him to something better. I don't think the plan is working. The plan that his parents gave him, the plan that his first interviewer gave him, I don't think that's working out. So Diana, that's the name of our angel, she says, let me tell you the first thing you need to know. I'm going to give you 6 pieces of advice. Here is the first one. Everybody comes around her and she says, there is no plan. What? No plan? What it means that you can't sit there at age 21 or even 31, 41, 51 and map it all out, how it's going to be. You might think that X will lead to Y and Y will lead to Z, but it never works that way. Life isn't an algebra problem, she says. You think you planned that? Probably not. It's nice to believe, oh, I will do this and then I will do that and then I will do that, but life isn't working for you. You are working for life. Remember that. If you try to stick to the plan, even though you've realized that it's dumb, you'll end up like Eddie Yang. Who is Eddie Yang? Who's Eddie Yang? The guy in legal. The person who is stuck in his job. He's so stuck that there are cobwebs around him like that. You know what he thinks? He thinks he's still keeping his options open. So what should I do? He asks. Should I just allow random random things to happen to me? Our angel goes to the whiteboard and writes down the first lesson. There is no plan. See, the thing is, all of us have an uncle or an aunt, a well-meaning uncle, a well-read uncle perhaps, who will suddenly magically appear in our family just when we are in our crossroads, about to get into college, about to take a job and so on. This guy will come and say, you know what, you should actually keep your options open. You should finish your degree. You somehow grind through it, man. The goal is important. If you somehow pull through this, even if it is struggle and hardship filled, the reward will be amazing, he'll say. But the problem is, he comes from the previous generation. So much has changed in the recent generations. In fact, with COVID, we are talking about BC AD difference. BC is before Corona. AD is after disease. Everything that we thought was this is how it's going to be has changed now. And in such a situation, what's the point taking advice from somebody who doesn't know how things happen today? He is wise. He is knowledgeable. He intends well. But does he know what's happening in the ground today? That's my concern. There was this story about how we think A to B is how we will want our life to move. I am in A, I want to go to B, and A to B. But you know where life takes us? Life takes us like this: A, D, H, K, W, Z. And then we reach B. And only when we reach B after that great journey, we realize B is not where we wanted to go to. There is a C we wanted to go to. Only when you turn the corner, you see that amazing, beautiful, new experience that's awaiting us. So how can you plan as if life is A to B? That's how it is. So the only thing you need to do is not obsess about the destination. You have to enjoy the journey. So anything you do at any time, do not think of struggling through it painfully, hoping that if I finish this, I will get something amazing. That is never true in life. That is not how a plan works. Every moment of every day you spend pursuing your goals or chasing your passions, are you enjoying the journey intrinsically? Are you motivated, self-motivated internally? That's the question you need to ask yourself. They asked Tim Cook, when Tim Cook was just getting out of college, he's the CEO of Apple today. They asked him, draw out a 25-year plan. Where will you be? What will you be doing? And so on. And he wrote it down. And then he went back to see the plan and see where his life was taking him. And guess what? It was reasonably accurate for about 18 months. In less than 2 years, the plans diverged, he says. Because the world is going to change many times. The environment is going to change. The company you are in will change. It may close down. It may get acquired. The career might change. The domain might change. So the only thing you can be ready for is change. Matram ondre maradadu. All you can actually be is be prepared for change. So that's the first lesson. There is no plan. All right. Continuing the story, she invites Bunco and the others for lunch. And he says, can't you see I'm working? Are you making fun of me? I'm working. I finished it in 1 hour, she says. No, this stuff takes me forever and I make mistakes also. You seem to get it naturally, but I grind through it. It takes me many days to finish it. And the boss comes and says, I gave it to Yuko. Yuko finished it a few hours ago and you're still struggling? The boss says. It's pretty simple, says Yuko. But it's taking forever for our hero. I want to succeed. I need to focus where I am weak. That's what our elders always say. Our teachers, our parents, they all say, hey, this is your weakness. Focus on that. Study more. If you are having maths exam and science exam. If you're already good at maths, study more in science, improve in your weaknesses. It is the weakness that is holding you back. So our Diana comes back again and says, "Oh, you foolish child, let me share the second lesson you need to learn. The second lesson is think strengths, not weaknesses." See, there is research that says the key to success is to steer around your weakness, ignore, escape your weaknesses, and focus on your strengths. Don't try too hard to improve what you're bad at. There will be 1,000 things you'll be bad at. Even when you're a 90-year-old person, when you're about to die, there will be 1,000 things you're bad at. But can you identify that one good thing, one meaningful thing, one useful thing that you are good at, that you can keep getting better at? Identify that, they say. Think about it. What are your strengths? Asks Diana. And she wonders, okay, I think I can draw well. I can do that for hours. People come to me for new ideas. I can really understand what they are saying. I'm pretty good at it. So that is this Needi Neri Vilakkam, Tamil four-liner that goes, Mei Varuttam Parar, Pasi Nokkar, Kan Tunjar, Avamadippum Kanar, a line that says, if you are focused on something that you're truly passionate about, you won't feel the pain of hunger. You won't feel sleeplessness. You won't feel that your body is paining. You won't feel the passage of time. You won't feel others are insulting you because you are completely focused on that one thing that is something that you're truly passionate about. So identify that one thing, she asks. It's almost as if, okay, this guy is in the wrong place. He's doing the wrong job, thinks our Lady Diana. And she says, let me magically create a mail. I will send it to the boss as if I am sending it from higher up, and you will get a transfer to a creative department because that is where your strength is. The boss calls him and says, hey, I just got a big letter and they have given you a 30-day trial in marketing. Watch yourself, man. I am getting suspicious, says the boss. So from accounting, our hero Bunco is moving to marketing. Diana is watching. Bunco is coming. Let's do it. And that's the second line she writes. Think strengths, not weaknesses. See, there is this story of an accident, a car accident that a family is going by car, mother, father, son, and there's a car accident and the mother and father die on the spot. And the boy loses one arm, loses his right arm. And he is orphaned. This young boy is orphaned. And the lady, the aunt who takes care of the boy, sees that boy is depressed. He is completely devastated, doesn't want to go to school, doesn't want to do anything. He's just sitting in a corner, feeling bad, crying. And then she sees that there is a karate coaching class happening nearby. And the master is a true master, is a real genius of a person. And she knows that person. And she takes this little boy to him and says, Master, this boy is an orphan, no father, no mother. And can you just teach him karate? Can you just act as if you're teaching him? Make him feel good. And the sensei, the karate master says, no worries, I will do that. And he takes the boy to the master and teaches him karate. Are you able to hear me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay.
Voice is good, sir.
I just got muted. Okay. I am continuing. So
Sir, audible,
the
sir?
yes, I am able to hear you. Yes. Are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir, your voice is audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. So they go to this doctor, this genius teacher, and the teacher says, "No problems, I'll accept him, but on one condition: he should do what I tell him without questioning, without wondering why. He should just do what I'm telling him to do." The boy accepts, the mother accepts, the aunt accepts, and he starts training. All the other students are taught thousands of different positions and moves and blocks and punches and tricks. But this little boy, is asked to sit in a corner, stand in a corner, and practice one move. One punching move is taught by the master, and that's the only thing this boy has to practice over and over again. The others go promoted from green belt to orange belt to brown belt. They go getting promoted. But this boy is being asked to do that single move over and over again, thousands of times every day. Because the master said no questions, the boy is silent, the boy doesn't ask any questions, and he is watching. Then a championship comes, a rural championship. The boy wins it. Everybody laughs. One-handed boy wins the championship, and they mock at him. Then a citywide championship comes. He wins it. Then there is a statewide championship. He wins it also. Then there is a national championship, and the opponent is somebody who has never been defeated by anybody. This boy stands no chance, they say. So he finishes the quarterfinals, he finishes the semifinals, and then he enters the finals, and that's the champion in front of him, undefeated champion. He wins the championship. The undefeated champion is defeated. Everybody comes to him and say, "How did you do it?" And everybody come to him. They bring their microphone and ask, "Tell us the story. How were you able to do it?" The boy says, "I just did what I was asked to do. Ask my aunt." And the aunt says, "I don't know. I just put him in this class. Ask the teacher." And they all go to the teacher and say, "How did you manage to make a one-handed person win a karate championship against an undefeated world champion?" And the master says, "See, I taught him only one move, and he was very, very good at that move because he had practiced it so much. And the only way anybody can defend that move, when our boy makes that punch, there is only one way to defend against that move, and that is by holding on to the right arm of the opponent. So anybody who is against him, if they hold on to the right arm of the opponent, they can win. But there is no right arm for this guy. So when there is no right arm for our guy, they are completely blown away. They are not able to defend themselves. And this boy is so good with that move, he wins. So focusing on your strengths rather than the 1,000 weaknesses that you have, that is the message I want to carry across today. If A.B. de Villiers had decided to focus on his weakness also, he's very good at cricket already. Instead of becoming even better at cricket, if he had said, "I want to run my business, I want to finish my degree," and so on. If A.R. Rahman had decided, "I need to finish my school work and class work." If Sachin Tendulkar had said, "I need to finish my board exams somehow," yes, they would all be without any weaknesses. But will they have a strength? Do we want to live in a world where there is no Rahman and no A.B. de Villiers? Think about that. The life is too short for us to take care of all our weaknesses. You cannot have no weaknesses anyway. So choose what your passion is, identify what your strength is, and just focus on making it even better. So that's the second lesson: strength, not weaknesses. We go back to our story, and here is our man. He leaves the accounting department and goes to the marketing department. It's a different world. And he meets a person by name Lakshmi, who gives him the assignment. Okay, here is the assignment, folks. Here is the new guy who has joined us. Let's go. This is important. And they are being given a task. They have to promote a shoe. The shoe needs an advertisement. Okay. They both start to do what to do. And that's his partner. And they want to start brainstorming. Okay. Shall we do something together? Asks our friend. But our hero says, I'm going to focus on my strengths. I like drawing and I'm going to focus on drawing. The other guy wonders what he's doing. And this guy is just drawing more and more. There is no connection with a shoe. He doesn't realize that he is not collaborating. He is not cooperating. Johnny Bunco is making the mistake of not collaborating during a brainstorm. He's just focusing on his strengths. How does that have anything to do with marketing shoes? Asks his colleague. I don't know. I just focused on my strengths. Diana comes again and he asks, what are you talking about? I'm just following your rules. And she says, wait, yes, you were following my rules, but you didn't understand the third rule. The third thing is what you need to know now. It's not about you. Just because you're passionate about something, just because that is your strength, do not focus on that strength alone over and over again. That's not what I told you to do. What you should do instead is focus on the customer, focus on the client, focus on why you are doing what you're doing. Start with why. You are here to serve the world, the community that you are in, the family you are in, the city you are in, the country you are in, the world you are in. You are here to contribute something. You're not here to consume, you're here to create and contribute. These are stupid pictures. You're not going to do anything by doing this. Focus on the customer. So, what am I? I am some cockroach. I don't matter at all? Asks our hero. And she says, yes, you matter. But the most successful people improve their own lives by improving others' lives. See, Mahatma Gandhi wouldn't have been Mahatma if he had just been a barrister at law. If he had been a rich lawyer, uh, London educated lawyer coming down to India to settle down and practice, nobody would have bothered. He would have been one in hundreds of other lawyers doing that. He saw the suffering of others. His heart went out to them. He dropped everything else and said, I have some unique strengths. How can I use those strengths to make the lives of these people better? And that is why we call him the Mahatma. They help their customers solve their problem. They give their clients something it didn't know it was missing. Their focus, their energy, their talent, their brain power, everything is outward, towards others, not inward. That's the question. Outward, not inward. So the most valuable people in any job do it for others. Even in a team, they do it for others. Your ego should be removed, she says. And that's the third lesson she writes. And that's the third lesson she teaches to her students. Hello, I'm back. Are you able to see me?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I just got
Yes, sir. Your
disconnected.
voice is audible.
Sorry. So he's going around on a tour. He visits a spacecraft, a rocket, and then moves to another building. Along the way, he sees this guy mopping the floor. And out of courtesy, he asks him, "Hey, man, how are you? What are you doing?" And that man doesn't say, "Can't you see I'm mopping the floor? Step out of the way." He doesn't say that. He doesn't say, "I am a worker here and I mop the floor and I am doing that." He doesn't say that. He says, "I am helping these scientists put a man on the moon." Look at the understanding he has, the big picture that he has in his mind. Like the little squirrel that comes in the Ramayana. He knows he has a small role to play. If he doesn't keep the floor clean, if he doesn't keep the floor dry, the scientists are going to have trouble. They might slip and fall. Dust particles might get into the super clean environment of the spaceship, and so on. So he knows he has a small role to play, but it is an important role, and he is doing it for others. Putting a man on the moon, I am playing my role. That's how he sees it. Ask anybody in your family, the senior people particularly, the people who have already lived a long life, have had a career. Ask them what their greatest achievements were. Most of them will not go and tell you the stories that, most of them will not tell you what they have achieved. They will tell you what they have helped others achieve. That's the beauty of coming together, losing your ego, and doing it for an outward reason. What can I do for others? It's not about focusing on your strengths, it's about others who can be helped. So that's the third lesson. It's not about you. All right, what's the fourth lesson? They come up with an idea. It's not about shoe. They come up with that idea and they present it. Everybody is thrilled. That is the lady Lakshmi presenting the advertising idea, and they all welcome it. Wow, that's an interesting line, Lakshmi says. Only this guy knows how he came up with that line. And because the job was done so well, they come to know that the shoe company that brought the project to them has decided to give them more work. Okay, don't just design an ad for my shoe, design a shoe. Come up with a new and revolutionary shoe, they have said, and a complete new category of shoe. Oh, no problem, I can do it, says Johnny Bunco, this guy, and says, I can do it. They all run home, get set, get into the office, and start brainstorming. Okay, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll write down, I will start. Everybody decides to come together. They have 3 lessons now. There is no plan. Focus on your strengths. It's not about you. One guy says, how about shoes you can eat? Edible shoes. Silly question. Time goes by. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the weekend has come. Not many amazing ideas have come. So what do? They go to Our Lady, Angel Diana. Let's take her help. I want a revolutionary new concept. Can you come up with a concept, please? All our ideas are really bad. Shoes? Asks Diana. Are you four not qualified for the project? You are all amazing creative people. You must have come up with an idea. Yeah, we are called the dream team. Lakshmi calls us the dream team. I'm a genius and we're all enthusiastic. This is a room full of talent. So what you need to know, there is amazing talent here. So what you need to know is the 4th lesson. Because if you get that lesson clearly, you will be able to come up with ideas. Okay, what's the lesson? Persistence trumps talent. If there are 2 people, hard work and genius, I will bet on the person who is working hard, she says. So I'm going to take you to a casino. There are two people. We can bet on those two people. One of them is Robinson, the other is Richardson. Robinson is very talented, but not very persistent. Richardson is moderately talented, but extremely persistent. When Sachin Tendulkar came into the world of cricket, there was another person who came along with him. People say he was actually more talented than Sachin himself. If you look up the old newspaper articles, you will see they are talking about Vinod Kambli and Sachin Tendulkar. They both had a world record partnership, and Vinod Kambli hit more runs. So how is it that many of you haven't even heard of Vinod Kambli, the supposedly more talented person, and you only know about Sachin Tendulkar, the god of cricket? The story goes that Vinod Kambli got distracted. There was ego problem. There was drinking problem, and so on. Whatever. If you look up the old newspaper articles and magazine articles, you will learn a lot about how different these two were. One is a hard worker with moderate talent. The other is talented, but not very persistent. So they ask, who are you going to bet on? And they all say 50-50, 65-35 and all that. And Our Lady, the angel, says, I'm going to put all my 100 on the persistent person and see what happens. In 5 years, they both are level. In 10 years, there is already a difference. And in 15 years, you see a huge difference between the two people, the one who is talented and the one who is persistent. And in 20 years, there's a world of difference between those two. See what I mean? No, says our hero. See, there is this thing called doggedness. The word means if I am starting on something, I won't stop until I finish it. Whatever happens, I won't let go. Give a cloth to a dog and it'll bite, and you can actually lift the cloth and the dog will come along with you. That's how hard it'll bite and not let go. That is having the quality of sticking with it when others don't. That's an amazing, important quality, they say. They use their heads, they also use their hearts and their butts. So what do musicians and athletes do that others don't? They practice. They practice again and again. They show up. 2 days after winning the World Cup, Sachin Tendulkar went back to the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai to practice. What are you doing it? There is no other championship coming. I don't practice for championships. I practice because I like it. And I know I have to fix a lot of things. I have to improve in a lot of things. And I practice. That is doggedness. That is persistence. The most powerful force in the universe is compound interest, not love. Einstein said it is compound interest. Why? It is exponential, like the spread of COVID, like the exponential growth of COVID. Whatever is created creates some more. That's the problem with this virus. It builds on itself. A large amount of money, persistence is similar. A little bit, there is this concept called Kaizen in Japanese. Small atomic improvements, a little better, and then suddenly, without you noticing it, it'll be a lot better given enough time. So motivation has to come from inside. You can't do something because somebody told you to do it, because somebody said you will get a degree, because somebody said you will get money, marks, project completion certificate. That is not how you can motivate yourself for the persistent long run. You have to motivate. Like Sachin Tendulkar, who went to the stadium to practice 2 days after he won the World Cup of cricket. Intrinsic motivation. That's when you're likely to succeed. So pay attention. That's the next lesson. And the lesson is, it is persistence trumps talent. You all remember this story, the tortoise and the hare. The hare lost because even though it was talented, it wasn't persistent. But do you know this? If you take a calculator and do this simple mathematics, if you are getting 1% better every day, whatever you did yesterday, I am going to do 1% better. If you're going to do 1% better every day, 1.01 in the whole power of 365, any guesses? Any guesses at what the number is? It's not, you're not going to become 2 times better. You're not going to become 3 times better. The answer is 38 times better. 38 times better. And the same thing can happen the other way too. Every day of a year, you drop in quality by 1%. That's 0.99. I am 0.99 of what I was yesterday. I am 0.99 of what I was yesterday. If you continue that for a year, you know how bad things can become? Power 365, it can become 3% of what you started as. Take a book, start reading. Read just 1 page today. Then read 1 page and 1 sentence tomorrow. Then read 1 page and probably 5 sentences tomorrow. Make it 1% better every day. You'll be shocked at what you can do by persistence. So that's the last, the 4th lesson. Persistence beats talent. Continuing on our story, they take a break. They are persistent at the idea. They take a break. They go jogging. And our hero is wheezing already. He's tired. He settles down. He doesn't know what to do. And then he's thinking, there needs to be a lot of greenery. We need to plant a lot of trees.
It's 11 o'clock.
We need to plant a lot of trees. I think I have an amazing idea. How about we create a shoe that can distribute seeds? As I walk along, as the shoe wears away, it will distribute the seeds wherever I go. Silly idea. I don't really like it, but everybody in the group likes it, and they create this Newton look and seed. It's got the looks, it's got the seeds. And our Bunco becomes a little too overconfident. He says, okay, what I'm going to do next is I'm not going to go and give this to my boss. She will get all the credit. What I'm going to do is, just a minute, I will spotlight. I'm not going to give all the credit to my boss. I will go to my boss's boss. I'll go directly. I'll get all the credit. This is my idea after all, he thinks. And he goes to the big boss. The first question he asks, does Lakshmi know you're here? How did you get in? Who are you again? Perfect questions. Don't waste my time. I'm busy. Does your boss, my subordinate Lakshmi, know you're here? Who let you in? Take a look at this amazing shoe. This is the revolutionary concept in shoes. You walk a while and then you start distributing seeds. Fashion meets environmental awareness, claims our hero. Seeds in the shoes? Our boss is very, very, very angry. You realize people wear shoes inside houses, right? As you walk, you will be putting your seeds on floors and carpets. What kind of silly, foolish, dumb idea is that? Cries the boss. Call Lakshmi. If I want to plant seeds, I could have just planted seeds. Why wait for them to wear down? I can do them right away. Call security. Get out, says our hero. Says our hero's boss's boss. Our man is devastated. He leaves the room. And then he breaks open. I need help. I need to save my job. I think I've lost it. He made a big mistake. Did you make a mistake? Wait, let me check on YouTube, says Diana and runs to the computer. Because when you make a mistake, everybody starts talking about it and it becomes a meme on YouTube. Here is the fifth lesson, my friend, says Diana. What's the fifth lesson? Cries out our hero. He's already feeling pretty dejected. He doesn't really know how this is going to go. And his boss's boss is angry that it is a silly idea. His boss is going to be angry because he completely bypassed her. What's the fifth lesson now? The angel Diana says, here is the fifth lesson. Learn to make excellent mistakes. What excellent mistakes are you talking about? Says Bunco. See, we are not here to avoid making mistakes. Many people say, if you don't make mistakes at all, you can't make any progress at all. All progress comes by making mistakes first. Messing up is part of life. But the focus is not to avoid failure, but to learn something from it. You need to make spectacular mistakes. தவறு செய்யக்கூடாது, சொதப்பணும். That's the difference. And சொதப்பினா மட்டும் போராது, அதிலிருந்து ஏதாவது கற்றுக்கொள்ளணும். Every time you make a mistake, get a little better, move a little closer to excellence, she says. Making mistakes sounds risky. Immediately Diana corrects. It is more risky not to make mistakes. Very important lesson. It's not random, stupid, thoughtless blunders though. I'm talking about good mistakes, she says. What are good mistakes? Mistakes that come from having high aspirations. What is the mistake Chris Gayle does every time he loses his wicket in cricket? He wants to hit a sixer off every ball. That's the mistake. The high aspiration, that leads him to make the mistake. And that's a good mistake to make. Because if Chris Gayle clicks, he is going to hit the first 200 in T20s. Trying to do nothing, trying to do something that nobody else has done. But these shoes, I think they were an excellent mistake, says Our Lady. How can a seed spreading shoe be an excellent mistake, wonders our man. How so? Wait. I think we can make it a backpack. I can have solar panels on the shoe. I can capture energy. I can charge something. I can charge batteries. And I can use the battery power to charge my cell phone. They keep coming up with ideas. I run, I walk. There's a small battery in the shoe. A pump in the sole. With every step, the pump delivers a kinetic energy that is stored in the battery. A photovoltaic panel collects energy from the sun. That also goes into the battery. Whenever you're running, you're producing clean energy. Okay, this is an interesting idea, a much more interesting idea than spreading seeds. So for the sake of the story, it's a nice, clean, super smooth idea. It's not a huge amount, but it can recharge your mobile phone. So they decide this is an amazing idea. They all come together. Shoes that power more than your feet. That's the line. They show it to Lakshmi this time. Lakshmi is thrilled. And Lakshmi pitches it to her boss. That's ingenious, says the boss. You will go places, Lakshmi. Look at this. The team members have come together and pitched the idea to Lakshmi, and Lakshmi has been made to look good. Imagine students doing so well in the exam that the teacher can go to the principal's room and say, my students 100 out of 100 in all subjects, all passed with distinction. And the principal says, good job, Lakshmi. So the only task you have is to make your superiors look better. If a cricket player thinks, I need to make my captain look good when he takes the award on behalf of us all. If every one of us says, I am here to do my superiors, make my superiors look good, do my superiors a favor. It's not about you, remember? It's about making them look better. If every one of us thinks like that, it's going to be a beautiful world indeed. So they all come together, they do high fives. And that's the fifth lesson. Make excellent mistakes. Mistakes that are so good that you learn something from them and it far outweighs the losses that you incurred because of the mistake. There is this guy, I'm going to reveal him slowly. In 95, he applied to Netscape and his job application was rejected. In 96, he started his own company, Zip-Uhv, and he was ousted from the CEO job because he did some shady dealing. He was asked to leave the company. And then in 99, PayPal was this amazing idea. And people thought this is a silly idea. They said, sorry, this is probably the worst ever business idea. The top 10, yours is featured in that, they said. What a credit to give a person. 2000, once more, he had started a company and he was actually with his wife honeymooning in an island. He got a message that, remember that job, that second company you started, you have been ousted from the CEO position. You're not part of the board anymore. In 2006, he started a vehicle company and he launched it. They couldn't track where it was. I'm sure some of you at least have identified who the person is. In 2008, two of his companies that he had founded were close to bankruptcy. SpaceX and Tesla were about to close down. They couldn't pay their employees the salary. 2018, driverless car crashed. He was in big shit because of that. 2020, once again, they removed him from the CEO role because he tweeted something which the people didn't like. We're talking about Elon Musk, of course. And when you ask him, how are you succeeding so well? He says, I look around me. If things are not failing, I am not innovating enough, he says. I need to have at least 20 experiments running, 18 of which are failing, one of which is moderate. The 20th will be a super hit. That is my secret for success. I try so many times. I do so many things. I do excellent mistakes. In fact, an excellent mistake can be defined like this. It's a noun. It means to make a mistake from which the benefits of what you have learned far exceed the costs of the mistake. You must learn so much more because you committed the mistake. They say there are only two kinds of people. In a cricket match, if you win, you're going to be in the dressing room celebrating. If you lose, you're going to be in the dressing room surrounded by everybody else, the coach in the center, you'll be learning. There are only winners and learners. If you look at life like that, if you commit mistakes but ensure they are excellent mistakes, you're going to be a happy person. So that's the fifth lesson. Make excellent mistakes. I'm actually running out of time. And I also realized that I have been talking about a book called The Adventures of Johnny Bunco. The sixth lesson, it's a pretty interesting lesson, but I'm not going to share that with you. I'm going to see how many of you take the initiative, go out, look up that book and finish reading it. What is the sixth lesson? That's my assignment for you. But before I go, I want to share a beautiful video clip. It's available on Amazon Prime. It's a program called Harmony with A.R. Rahman. And in this, he interviews exotic musicians, and he eventually brings them all together in his studio and makes them perform. And while interviewing a musician of a special device called Muravu in Kerala, He talks to the musician and to the musician's guru. Let's watch that short clipping now.
When a student comes to you, what do you expect from the student? ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ അവന് മനസ്സിലാക്കാനുള്ള കഴിവുണ്ടോ, അതിനുള്ള ബുദ്ധിയുണ്ടോ, അതനുസരിച്ച് പ്രവർത്തിക്കാനുള്ളതായ ശക്തിയുണ്ടോ, മനസ്സിലാക്കിയാൽ വേറൊരാൾക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കാനുള്ളതായ കഴിവുണ്ടോ, ഇതൊക്കെ നോക്കണം. ഇതൊക്കെ നോക്കിയാലേ ആ കുട്ടിയിൽ നിന്ന് നമുക്ക് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കാൻ സാധിക്കുള്ളൂ. അല്ലാതെ അവന് തന്നെ ഇങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും കുട്ടിയിൽ കാര്യമില്ല. അവൻ മേലാൽ ഒരു കുട്ടിയെ കൂടി ഉണ്ടാക്കണം, ഒരു വിദ്യാർത്ഥിയെ കൂടി, ഒരു ശിഷ്യനെ കൂടി ഉണ്ടാക്കണമെങ്കിൽ അവനെ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയിട്ട് അതൊക്കെ വേണ്ട വിധത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കാനുള്ളതായ കഴിവ് ആ കുട്ടിക്ക് ഉണ്ടോ എന്നുള്ളത് നമ്മൾ ആദ്യം നോക്കണം. ഭാവിയിലേക്ക് കുട്ടികളെ കുട്ടിയാണോ അത് കുട്ടിയാണ്. അവൻ എന്താന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ സ്വന്തമായിട്ട് പ്രയത്നിക്കും. പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുത്തത് മാത്രമല്ല, ഒരു വിഷയം പഠിക്കുന്നതില് ആചാര്യാൽ പാദം ആദത്തേതാണ്. ഒരു ഗുരുനാഥന്റെ കയ്യിൽ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്നത് എന്താ വെച്ചാൽ 1/4 ഭാഗം മാത്രമേ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുള്ളൂ. പിന്നെ പാദം ശിഷ്യ സ്വമേധയാ, ബാക്കി ഒരു ഭാഗം സ്വന്തമായിട്ട് ആലോചിച്ച് പ്രവർത്തിക്കാനുള്ളതായ ഒരു ശക്തി ഉണ്ടാവണം.
So when I watched this clipping in the documentary, it ended with 2 out of 4 of that shloka. So I decided, let me Google, what is that shloka? He talks about 1/4 and then he talks about 2/4, and then what about the other 2? And when I Googled, I saw this beautiful Sanskrit shloka. Acharyat Padamadatte. The first line says, 1/4 of your learning you get from your teacher, from the Acharya. And then Padam Shishya Sumedaya. The second quarter you get by self-learning, Swamedaya. Your own effort, your own interest, your own passion, your own hard work away from the teacher. That's the second quarter. And then Sabrahmacharibhya Padam. That's the third part, which is the third quarter of your learning comes from learning together. Sabrahmacharibhi. That is, all your co-learners, your friends, your colleagues, your classmates, your juniors, your seniors, when you come together with the common goal of pursuit of knowledge, that's the third quarter. And the punch, my favorite punch, is the last one. Padam kala kramenacha. The last quarter of all your learning comes kala kramam, in its own time. Naladai will. It has to be a lifelong journey. Don't think you have learned everything. From now on, I can run my life with what I have learned. In this new world, in this knowledge economy, in this post-COVID world that you're living in, almost everything that you thought you knew before is probably not going to be enough. What you need to learn now is what matters. And what you need to keep learning, even after graduating, even after you get your job, your second job, you have to keep learning. Be a lifelong learner. In fact, even if you don't learn anything at school, at college, if you learn one little thing, the ability to learn, the art of learning, if you can learn the art of learning by yourself, if you can learn the art of learning among others, with your friends, if you can somehow capture that art, bottle it up for future use, and take it along with you in your journey in life, you're going to have an amazing life, my friend. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this wonderful session. It has been a highly eye-opening session for our students. Definitely our students will take it forward, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Now we shall have a small interaction session, sir. Shall we invite our students to put their doubts in front of you, sir?
Yeah, I know.
Adarsh?
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Yes,
Is it audible?
yes.
You're audible, Adarsh. Go ahead.
I'm visible now, ma'am.
Yeah, go
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am.
Ask me.
Yeah. Sir, I'm Adarsh from IT department second year actually. So I have a doubt. So when we are going towards something or when we are trying to achieve something, we'll be like getting some obstacles in middle, right? So even when we are standing apart from others, even the people who are with us will see us like something else, right? Like if we are standing out, like even our friends are going in one way, and if we are standing out from others and if we are trying to achieve something different, then even they will start seeing us in another way. So what do you say for a solution for that?
I don't think you have the right set of friends. They are not friends, really. Because to celebrate the achievements of your colleagues, of your partners, of your well wishers, of your friends is probably one of the first expectations of this word called friendship. Yeah. So learn to appreciate the little things in others, and learn to not be too boastful of your own achievements. Yeah. Get the right set of friends.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Makita? Guys, please unmute and speak. Students, those are interacting, kindly unmute yourself and speak, ma. Deepthi, I've sent unmute request to you. Please unmute and you can interact. Deepthi, am I audible? Yeah, Deepthi can go ahead.
Or you can actually type your questions in chat. I'll be able to answer them faster. If all this muting, unmuting is causing trouble.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, you can post your queries in the chat box too. Chat box is enabled now. Please post your queries to a resource person.
Yeah, go ahead. No need for hello and good morning. Just type your question. We're already past our agreed upon time. So let's get directly to the question. In your idea, what is the destination? Let's address that question. I said the destination is not important. What is more important is enjoying the journey. The problem, the reason why I said that is it's not as if I hate the destination. It's not as if I don't want a destination. I want it as much as you want it. But too often in life, we have learned that not everybody is destined to reach their destination. Too often, that's what happens. We start doing something, we lose track, we get distracted, we see something else that's more lucrative, more important, more interesting, and we pursue that. And today, for example, there is talk about so many of our current jobs being taken over by robots. Nobody is talking about it this year. Ask our faculty members. Last year, they were all talking about Industry 4.0, robotic process automation, what's going to happen to the world. Only because we now have COVID that is threatening us, we seem to have forgotten this robotic invasion. So I keep telling, don't obsess about the end goal and instead focus on what is the important thing today, that is enjoying the journey, because too often you are going to be distracted anyway. That is why. All right. what do you expect from my employees? What do I expect from my employees in my company? What do we expect from our employees? I think the right attitude to work in a team. That's the most important thing anybody will want, because everything else is teachable. We want the right non-teachable qualities. That is the harder thing to get. And these things are, you can't even train them on some of these qualities. So getting the right attitude is probably very important. How to find our strengths? Somebody has asked me privately. In fact, there is something called the Strength Finder Toolkit on the web. I'll strongly recommend you go hit it. And my personal thumb rule is, what do you do on a Sunday afternoon when there is no exam coming, when there is no project pending, when there is no money dangled in front of you to finish something, when it is raining outside, when it is locked down, you can't even step out with your friends? What do you do? How do you spend your time? If you can identify that thing that you go to again and again, you keep going to that, probably that is where your strength is. That is where your passion is. It's not about what you like doing. It is about what you hate not doing. Every day that goes by, oh my God, I am hating myself because one more day I didn't do that thing. If you can identify that, what do you hate not doing? Probably that is your passion, that is your strength. In my words, success. What does success mean? Success means being meaningfully contributing to the people around you. It could be family, it could be friends, it could be society, it could be the country. But to be noticed in your absence for having contributed something that improved their own life. If you can identify something like that, if you can underline, this is what this man did. In that man's presence, we had this. He's gone now. We don't have it anymore. To be missed for some good contribution, I think that is success. I am trying to be different from others, like unique, but society will say I'm abnormal, say whether I need to consider their opinions since I am part of this society. My opinion, do not try to be different. A.B. de Villiers does not try to be different. He is different. So do not try to be different. Also, do not be ashamed if you're different. This world is cruel in the sense that it wants everybody to behave the same way, look the same way, act the same way, do the same way. Ignore them completely. We want special people, we want unusual people, because all progress, all interesting things are only brought about by these unusual, out of the box thinkers. So do not try to be different, but if you are different, do not care what other people say. On second lesson, focus on strength, not on weakness. If our weakness is the most important factor for our fashion destiny, no, that question is meaningless. What is the meaning of success? What do you mean? What do you do during a typical day? Okay, success is a destination. What is the meaning of success? How we followed? Have you followed those rules to reach this level? I read this book pretty recently. So I only wish somebody showed this book to me when I was earlier. I had to struggle through life. I dropped out of college, guys. I got through IIT. I was an electronics graduate at IIT. 3 years later, I wasn't doing well. They kicked me out. I'm not like Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg, who opted out of college. Those guys were so good, they opted out and started a business. I was kicked out of college, okay? So I had to learn it the hard way. But you know what? Look at one of those lessons. Make excellent mistakes. I learned a lot by being kicked out of college. I learned so much that when I look back in time, oh my God, I got kicked out of college. I screwed up really badly, but I learned so many lessons from it. I now can confidently say that was an excellent mistake I made. How to manage failures? Look at them as learning opportunities. That's the best way to manage failures. What are the steps taken by you to reach a stage from a lower one? First of all, again, let me repeat, do not try to be different. Do not try to do things. Just be true to your conscience Just try to do the best you can. And it's not about you. Look around you, look outside. Be motivated intrinsically and look outward. If you can handle these two things, that is, what can I do for others and why am I doing that? If you can get those things sorted out, these things will naturally happen. Don't ever tell, I am in level 2, I am going to level 3 and all that. That's not how life works. What is your destination in your life? Okay. How are you working towards your version of success? I told you, see, I spent an hour and a half today working with you all. I have introduced the book to you. I didn't feed you completely. I said I'll give you 5 out of 6 lessons. 6th lesson is your job to find out. My hope is at least one of you is going to find out what the 6th lesson is. One of you is going to read the book. Probably the librarian will get some copies of the book in your college library. Probably one of you will even tell about this book to somebody else. I have succeeded. That is my measure of success today. Monday was a success for me, if I can get that to happen. I heard that in your office, staff were feel like office heaven. What make you think in the way to give them freedom? Okay, yes, Zoho, because the most important thing you can do to an employee is to make him or her feel at home. Because we are working creative work here. We are building software. We're not in a bottling plant, a conveyor belt coming. If each bottle has to be given a lid and we are screwing it in. Then we can chain the employee. We can say when the bell rings, you have to finish 100 such bottles and then only coffee break 10 minutes. We can do that if you are working in a factory like that. But building software is not a game of the hand. It's a game of the mind. Can I tell you what to do, what to think? I can't. Can I look at you and say whether you're thinking or not? Whether you're thinking about a YouTube movie or Surarai portrait, or whether you're thinking about software? I can't. So we trust you 100%. We give you the liberty and the freedom. We hope you will also align yourself. We hope you will realize it is not about you. It is about the company's goals and you will work forward. 25 years, it's been working out well for us. So what would your answer be if an interviewer asks you, where will you be 5 years from now, 10 years from now? I will not take that job, because that is a silly question to ask. And seriously, guys, if somebody asks you that question, you should not be in that company, because life is pretty chaotic. In fact, last year, many colleges invited us to talk about VUCA world. So volatile, uncertain, chaotic, and ambiguous, they said. They said this before COVID. COVID என்று ஒரு சாத்தான் நம்ம முன்னாடி வந்து நிக்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி they were talking about VUCA world. Imagine if that was VUCA, what it is today. Can you even imagine? So 5 years, 10 years, ask them first where they will be 5 months from now. That will be the question, because things are so uncertain and changing in such a rapid pace today. How to make concentration with our parallel goal? Like I have interest. Yeah, very good question, friends. Somebody has asked me privately, how to make concentration with our parallel goal. I have interest in biomedical and electronics. In recent times, I've been reading a book by name Originals. The author of the book is Adam Grant. And the important lesson I learned from that book is, it's great if you have interest in one subject. It's good if you have interest in another subject. But you know what is exceptional? What is going to set you apart? What is going to make you a super sought after person? It is the overlap. If you are good in A, okay. If you're good in B, okay. But if you are good in A and B, if you have that overlap between A and B, you're going to be supremely sought after. So look at this person. He says biomedical and electronics. Wow. Similarly, software engineering and biology or cell genetics. You'll be wanted because we need people to identify the vaccine for COVID. We want software. We want genetics, because only bringing those two together, we can actually find a solution. So anything that is an overlap course, I think that's going to have a great success in the future. What advice do you have for someone like us new to the industry? Okay, this is the advice I have to someone like you who is new to the industry. Remain new all the time. Always realize that there is so much more to learn. கற்றது கைமண்ணளவு, கல்லாதது உலகளவு. I have not become a master. I have not become a genius. I have learned everything. Don't be the hare, be the tortoise. There is so much more to learn. Every time I finish a book, I have a list of 10 books to read. The book has talked about those books. Every time I finish a chapter, new things have opened up. Oh my God, this much more to learn. So if you have that learner mindset, if you look at every class, every interaction you have with a professor, with a student, what can I learn today that I didn't know before? If you have that wonderment, that is the most important takeaway you can have. Never feel complacent, never feel full stomach. Always have space left behind. As you mentioned, to strengthen strength, but sometimes our strength is weakened by our weakness. Okay, are you a backbencher or topper in school and college? That's the irony. Okay, that's the irony of my story. I was the topper. I was the first bencher topper at school, and then I joined IIT, and 129th rank, national all India rank. I got electronics, Madras IIT, and then I got distracted. I became a software hacker. Every night I went to computer center. The day before electronics exam, I was hacking computers at the software center, and they asked me to leave. Though, so that I have been both. So I can confidently say I know the life of a topper. I know the life of a dropout. Suggest some tips to develop our skills. I think we have done that enough today. Would you like to be a leader or a follower? I want to be neither. I don't want to be following just one person. I don't want to be responsible for leading a lot of people. The most important thing is I don't want to be in the way. When a leader is taking his followers along, I don't want to be in the way. I want to chart my own path. Um, I want to share whatever lessons I learned with others so that they need not learn it the hard way. I took 4 years to learn a lesson. If I can convey that in 40 minutes, probably that will help you. You know what? It will help you to commit other kinds of mistakes. It's not as if once you learn this mistake, you're not going to commit any mistakes at all. All I am saying is don't commit the idiotic mistakes I made so that you can use that time, that valuable time, making other kinds of mistakes. Because making mistakes is important, but ensuring they are excellent mistakes is what is more important. Is happiness a destination or a journey? Very, very, very clearly, happiness is a journey. It is not the destination. There's a beautiful poem by name Ithaca. I would like you to read that poem. There is the book by Paulo Coelho, Alchemist. Again, it's about the journey, not about the destination. How to enjoy the failure in this world, all seeing and laughing when we fall down in life. The most important thing to enjoy failure, to not be laughed at by others, is to start laughing yourself first. Right? So if somebody else told, hey, you know what? This guy you're listening to for 1.5 hours, he's a dropout, yeah, from IIT, then probably you might have laughed. But the first time you came to know that I was a dropout from IIT was from me. I told you my story. I told you what happened to me. In all its gory details, I gave you that story. Now, nobody can laugh at it because you own the story. And at least I was courageous enough and frank enough to tell you about my failure. Are you having the courage? Do you think nobody has failed? Check with every one of your professors. They all have a failure story. Probably they won't tell you, probably they will tell you. But the point is, if you can laugh at your own failure before others laugh at it, you have it made. I fixed my goal, but some members stopped, sir. I think you should stop believing Dubai uncles. That's how I started my talk. There is no plan. Remember that. Being flexible is very important. I read the 6th lesson, Johnny Bunco. Can you give me the perfect example for it? Go read it. And what to do after B? Let me ask you the question. Why are you even doing B? Ask that question to yourself. There is a beautiful book by Simon Sinek. The title of the book is Start with Why. Are you doing B because you are naturally inclined? You want to know more about how things work? Or are you doing B because you want a job and get married? Or are you doing B because you want to become a management graduate somewhere else and to do an MBA, they are asking for a BE? Ask that question. Find out what the answer is. Then choose what to do. Start with why is very important. What is your opinion about young entrepreneurship? How can we succeed? Yes, entrepreneurship, there is no minimum age to reach, to become an entrepreneur. You can be an entrepreneur anytime. In fact, there are entrepreneurs who quit college and started and are now successful. So entrepreneuring is all about having a disproportionate impact. You are 2 people. Can I impact 2 million people? That is how Bill Gates started Microsoft. You are 20 people. Can you impact 20 million people? That's how Red Bus, the bus service, started. Can you look at a problem and come up with a unique, out of the box solution that nobody else has thought of? If you want to impact more people, you don't add more employees in the company. You just expand the scope of your product and it has that impact. That is entrepreneurship. And you don't need to be an entrepreneur. You don't need to start a company to be an entrepreneur. You can actually be an entrepreneur while you are a student. You can be an entrepreneur while you are part of a large company. It's the mindset to fail fast, to think out of the box, to innovate. It's a mindset. The organizers, please tell me when it is time because I am going on answering questions. I have no issues. Check about your time. I want to achieve success. I like your story very, very much. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. What resources will help you to create your success? Vallavanukku pullum ayudam. It is not about what resources and all that. It is about how you look at it. If you have the right mindset, even a blade of grass can become an amazing weapon in your arsenal. 3 tips to achieve your goal. So first of all, there is no plan. I gave you 5 tips today. You're asking me 3 tips. First of all, there is no plan. The second thing I would like to impress upon you is have that learner mindset. Anything you do, what can I take away? Some beautiful definition of success I read in a Japanese proverb. Success is not failing at all. I have never failed, so I have succeeded. Illa. That's not the success formula. Success, they say, is falling down 7 times, getting up 8. Falling down 7 times, standing up 8, bouncing back. That is success. So learn to succeed. That's very important. Not every job, if you want to go, has good salary, even though it gives you happiness. What to do about it? That's a good question, actually. So I would actually look at it as any job. Why are you talking about job this early in your career? You still have college time. Anyway, any job, you have to look at it as a stool, a 3-legged stool. The first leg is salary, of course, how you are being paid, what perks, and so on. But there are 2 other legs. The second leg is what responsibility are you given? Are you given a large machine and said, this is multi-crore, but you have to take care of it. You are the owner. Be very good. Be very careful about it. Are you given responsibility? Or are you given the lock and key to some very huge building and said, take care of it? Or are you given 10 people under you? Take care of them. That responsibility, that is very important. That's the second leg of the stool. If you don't have any responsibility at all, and you have been given a solid pay package, I don't think that's a very good, because the 3 legs of the stool should balance. What's the third leg? The third leg is learning opportunity. Every day, I got a little better. I became a little more knowledgeable. I have improved my skill set. At any job, if you have the opportunity to learn get a little better, more skilled every day, then even the salary and the responsibility may not matter. So look at all these three stools together, three stool legs together. Yes, salary matters, but also look at what learning opportunities you have. Also look at what responsibility you get. That is the balanced way to approach any job. Are you a successful life or happy life? Differ. Purila kelvi. Excuse me, could you please repeat the answer on how to find our strengths? This is recorded, so you may be able to see the recorded version. I'm sorry. Is there any motivation to you to reach this successful life, sir? Yes, my motivation is I want to spread the learnings I have from my life. That is what's motivating me. Yeah. Everyone will say success is journey, not a destination. When did you consider yourself as successful? I don't consider myself successful. People say all those words, but I don't consider myself successful. Only deep within me, I know how many failures, even this morning, how many times I have failed. Only I know. If people look at it as success, fine, well and good. But what is more important is when you go to bed at night, did you spend a meaningful day? Did you learn something today? Have you become a better person, a better version of yourself? That is success. Success is not a goal. Okay, today I have done this, I am successful now. No, success is an ongoing process. The moment you stop improving, you start failing. Think about it like that. I attended Zoho exam in January. I had done well, confidence, I'll be selected, not selected, what basis, papers will be corrected. Meet me, contact me privately. I have given my contact details. Probably we can talk about it. Thank you so much for motivating. I too found it. Sir, how to face opportunities without any fear? Is there any motivation for you? Inferiority complex makes us more depressed. How to overcome those things? This inferiority complex comes only when you have an ego. You want people to think of you as something, and the moment the truth comes out, you're afraid you will lose your friendship, you will lose their praise, you will be laughed at, and so on. Be ready to make a joker of yourself. Why are people afraid of public speaking, for example? They are afraid. Why தவறு ஏதாவது ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா, உளறிட்டேன்னா, தவறான வார்த்தை கிராமர் தப்பா சொல்லிட்டேன்னா. Be a complete idiot. It is okay. Make a complete joker, a mess of yourself. Laugh at your own mistake. Then they will appreciate. See, also, there's a beautiful poem. It's called The Man in the Arena. I forget the author's name. The poem Man in the Arena. Google பண்ணி பாருங்க. கொஞ்சமாவது ஏதாவது நீ பண்ணினா கூட நீ man in the arena, அந்த போர் களத்தில் நின்று போரிட்டுக் கொண்டிருக்கிறாய். You are much, much, much better than all those spectators looking around from the stands, having popcorn, drinking Coca-Cola, leaning back with remote control in their hand, telling about why Dhoni made the mistake, run out mistake, and that cost us our World Cup. Ignore those people. Be the man in the arena. That is far, far better. You are far better than all those people who are just passing commentary. What do I need to go with my passion, opportunity? Could you think 18-year-old mind could manage studies, passion, part-time into well-being hand in hand? 18 வயசு ஆளு ஒன்னு பண்ண முடியுமா? 18 வயசு ஆளால இதெல்லாம் பண்ண முடியுமா அப்படின்னு கேக்குறீங்க. 18 வயசு ஆளால தான் இதெல்லாம் பண்ண முடியும். When you grow older, you start narrowing down, you start getting rigid, you lack the flexibility to juggle multiple things. You are the future. You are the only people who can have many minds. See, you are born with a cell phone in your hand. In our time, we had a cell phone only when we finished rotary phone. We didn't have internet. You are the Google generation. You are the YouTube generation. We have no idea, right? So only you can achieve all these things. Think about that. What is your best friend's name, sir? அப்படின்னு ஒருத்தர் கேட்டிருக்காங்க. Nice. Okay. I think we are done. All answers have been given. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We actually thank you for spending your wonderful time with us. Even we are really encouraged and motivated. We also want to know what is the sixth lesson, and we are planning to learn the book again. Right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Now
you.
I would like to invite our beloved principal, Dr. PLN Ramesh, the sculptor of human character, a seasoned scholar and navigator of this flagship of knowledge, to please address our students.
Thank you very much, Rajendra Dhandapani, sir. Whenever the show, the dais has been given to you, unlocking the show, this is the third time that you have been associated with PRATHYUSHA Engineering College. And especially today, your speech was marvelous and is very up to the situation for the first year students who are there in front of you as the listeners. And you exactly given them the pathway for these 4 years, how they need to travel and how they need to make use of their time and how they need to mold their character. So I think 90% of the guys who are listening to you would have been spellbound today, because including all of us, all the teachers who are listening this, we are really, this session is really informative to all of us. And of course, students have uh, uh, fulfilled your passion, I guess. Your passion is to share your learnings to the people. So adding on to that, all the students have started questioning and then sharing their thoughts with you people. It was a great session, in fact, and you made the show really successful in terms of knowledge sharing. And I thank you very much, sir. And I would like to, we as PRATHYUSHA would like to get associated with you in many more occasions to motivate the students in this way. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
And coming on to the students, it's really a head start for you people. Of course, we have formally inaugurated on Friday, but today I feel it's a real inauguration in terms of you getting the right advice, right pathway, roadmap from the right person who is the giant in the industry and who is the backbone of Zoho Corporation. I think this way, Sir has told you one question, no goal, and question why did you choose engineering and how you want to be. And one thing is, as Sir really says, be happy always and try to do the things of your choice with passion and think about others as well. All these points which have been told to you are really practice, and he has learned. Of course, Sir said that he has learned this book only a few, it means little days ago, but still he has practiced. That's the reason he is successful. He is not only a successful employee or employer, but he is a successful father as well. Because probably if you know what his son is and which standard he has, after which standard he is joined in again in Zoho, probably if he happens to know his story as well, really amazing. So he's a man with real practices, and the same practices which has been again given to the generations to learn and see that you do new mistakes and which are useful mistakes. Thank you. So guys, you got a right platform to kickstart and ensure that this time, this advice or this speech, whatever it may be, should be made use of for your future. I wish all the students a very great time ahead and making use of the environment and ambience which has been provided in PRATHYUSHA. As rightly said, PRATHYUSHA is the one which gives you always a space for you to grow yourself by making use of by your passion. We would like to ignite your passion rather than dictate the lessons. Uh, the engineering is not the question of sitting in four walls and then learning and then getting certificate. It's not engineering. Engineering means trying to fulfill your passion and ensure that you do the things out of the box of your choice with your happiness. That's what the whole objective and vision of PRATHYUSHA. Hope that you will be aligned and you will be leaving the institution with flying colors. I wish all the guys a great future ahead, and thanks for the organizers. Thank you for the show. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Your words mean a lot for us, for they carry a lot of wisdom and vision. We are now at the end of this inaugural function. To give perfect end for this forenoon event, I now request Dr. Sureka Ma'am, HOD of the first year, to propose the vote of thanks. Ma'am, please.
Respected principal, my dear HODs, faculties and students, good afternoon to one and all present here. On behalf of the staff and students of PRATHYUSHA family, I take this honorable opportunity to present my vote of thanks to our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Rajendran Dhandapani, Director of Engineering, Zoho Corporation. You have lighted the flame of eye-opener in our students' life, sir. This one-week students induction program is facilitated and inaugurated beautifully by our Reverend Chief Guest. You have taken the session most interestingly, which would be evident from our students' questions as well. Your Bunco concept, along with storyline narration, would have surely thrilled the students to adhere to the content that change is inevitable. Your Dina lessons were thought provoking, sir. Just like Vikramaditya tales with Vedalam stories and a witty question at the end, trapping the Vikramaditya, your tales and the morals connected were truly breathtaking, sir. I'm sure our students would rightly find the sixth lesson in the prescribed book by you, sir. I bestow my thanks for having accepted our invite and have given us a very wonderful, inspiring talk. Brilliant thanks to our principal, UHP facilitated team of faculties, namely Gopinath sir, Maldi ma'am, Shobna ma'am, and Chitra ma'am, for your excellent coordination, especially for the excellent choice of the guest speaker. Thanks to Dr. Chitra ma'am and her team for the technical support and hosting. I express my gratitude to all the faculty team of this SIP who were engrossed very deeply in the meetings during Festival 2 for the successful conduction of this inauguration program. And yes, I thank all our second year CSE and IT students for having attended the session and making the session interesting with your questions. But not least, I sincerely thank all my first year students for having participated in the session fruitfully, for having eagerly questioning to your corresponding batch coordinators for the links and schedules and continuous WhatsApp messages. That shows your sincere involvement, dear students. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I
Yes,
request ma'am to take over so that first year instruction, students
Omna,
instruction.
1 second, Omna. Sir, very sincere gratitude to Mr. Rajendran sir for accepting our request and the patience in answering all our doubts, our students' doubts. It is really an eye-opening session to all of us, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for joining us and motivating all our students. And we'll definitely try to take all these things forward. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Sureka ma'am, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So, good afternoon, dear first year students. Since our morning session had taken up time, so I think we can break out for lunch and assemble at 1:15 sharply. See, now the batch coordinators would have messaged their Google Meet links in your corresponding batch groups. So you should join the Google Meet from now onwards. Google Meet option, I think we are all aware of. Just click in the link and then join the meeting. Please include your photograph and your user. I mean, the faculties have already given you the guidelines. So strictly follow those guidelines. Please have your name as the username, your branch again. Okay. And any doubts, please, you can be free to ask the batch coordinators. I am seeing all the WhatsApp groups flooding with messages with so many doubts. We are really, really happy about it. This 1 week is going to be a sort of, again, as I said in the inauguration program itself, it is going to be a bridging time for all, a bridging time, I should say a relaxing time, a relief time for all the first year students. Directly, we are not going into any online classes. So this UHV values, universal human values, now you have seen a wonderful speaker who have entrusted so much of values inside you. Lessons 5 to 6 lessons he was like telling you all, and conceptually he was making you to understand how much these values are important to us in our daily life. I'm sure you all would have enjoyed the session thoroughly. So these small motivational talks will actually stay in our life throughout. It is not just listening to the session and then after some time forgetting about it. It is like how much you reflect onto them. So when any human values, you have a person to advise you, you be very happy for it that there is somebody else is coming and telling you, you can be this, you should be that. So it is actually feel happy for it, feel good about it. As the speaker was rightly saying, that change is inevitable. Our planning, your dreaming, and then how to aim, all these every day. If you see morning 10 to 11, you will have wonderful sessions from very good speakers actually. So morning you will have 10 to 11 a program, means you should join, you should be there at 9:45. So all these instructions again and again we are anyway going to tell you in the WhatsApp, but now also I'm telling you. So morning finish all your work and be ready for this 1 week program. 9:30, 9:45, you be alert and then join on to the Zoom links in the morning. We will give you again, students, whatever is the common link or Google Meet link, it will be posted in the group. So please stay connected to the WhatsApp groups. And I'm sure that you're enjoying the session and your feedback in the WhatsApp group is also appreciated. We will be giving you Google links, Google form links at the end of the sessions. You should also be like, giving your inputs there. And we are open for feedback. And I saw a few messages from our students to me yesterday also. You can feel free to ask me any questions you want. You can text me. I will just provide all the clarity to you. So today's session will be at 1:30. You will have the Google Meet links. You will join there and you will be self-introducing yourself. The session in charges will tell you on what basis you are going to do the self-introduction. See, we are actually missing this physically contacting you, physically connecting with you. This is a virtual connection. So I want you all to come. Any student is going to speak. The facilitator or the session in charges will ask you to come in online, and you can come in online and in the video mode, and you should feel free to give a self introduction about yourself. This is learning about you and learning about us also. So every day in the afternoon you will have this task, knowing your skills. Or in the self introduction you would have given, say, you're very good in singing, you're very good in handcrafts, you're very good in art, drawing, sketching. You can actually be prepared for it. We will inform you a day before, so you can whatever you have drawn earlier, whatever you have done earlier, or you will be given some time for doing also, and you can come and present yourself. So we are not starting with the regular classwork immediately and pressurizing you all. This time for reflecting on your own self, on your self improvement, self progress is going to be really, really helpful. So such kind of motivational program you will not get every time. So make the best, use of the opportunity. That is what I'm trying to say. So wish you all the very best, students, and thank you. We will meet once again at 1:15. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope students can leave now. Again, in the WhatsApp group, they can join by 1:30.
Okay. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you all.
Thanks to everyone. We are closing the meeting. Can please leave for lunch.